Hello YouTubers, this is Cessnaace, and I received a package in the mail today, so I thought what I would do is an unpacking video. Before I get to the contents inside this box, I will, as an introduction, show you this graphic novel, an adaptation of a Twilight Zone episode, The Odyssey of Flight 33. This listed for $9.99 and was published by Walker & Company, and before I found this I had never heard of them, but I got my hopes up because on the back they show the covers from 3 other episode adaptations. Went to their website and discovered that they have published a ton of these things, which is cool because well, for one thing, they adapt the original screenplay as written by Rod Serling. He wrote over half of the episodes of the series, and so far they have stayed with adapting his scripts. Anyway, there were sequences that were dropped because of special effects, not being what they are today, budgetary constraints, and also dropped for time. But they are reinstated back into the graphic novels, which is cool. Another thing that is cool is this little page back here. It gives you everything you ever wanted to know about the episode in question. For example, this was an episode from Season 2, Episode 18, original air date February 24th, 1961, written by Rod Serling, narrated by Rod Serling. And another neat thing is they list the entire cast, and they also list every episode that they appeared in, because many of the actors appeared in multiple episodes of The Twilight Zone, and which character they played. For example, William Shatner was in more than one episode, playing a different character in each. And in this one, Captain Farver is played by John Anderson, who also appeared in the Twilight Zone episode A Passage for Trumpet. He played Gabriel. In the episode of Late, I Think of Cliffordville as Dietrich, and in the episode The Old Man in the Cave as Goldsmith. Now at the bottom they list production notes. And this is kind of freaky, but this is, remember, it's 1961 we're talking about. The dinosaur sequence of The Odyssey of Flight 33, which cost $2,500, was the most expensive special effect ever used in any episode of The Twilight Zone. It was filmed using stop-motion animation and puppets that were originally created for the movie Dinosaurs. The cockpit dialogue is incredibly accurate due to advice from Rod Serling's brother, Robert, who was an aviation writer for United Press International. Robert met with a pilot for TWA, and together they came up with many of the lines for the flight crew. Now, one of the sequences that I don't remember from the actual episode, well, that's an iconic image there. It happened after that, actually. This concerns a plane, obviously, that finds itself in a time vortex of some kind, and they keep wandering all over the place from time period to time period. And in this adaptation, they find themselves in the far-flung future. And I don't remember that actually appearing in the actual episode, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Okay. Now, it was priced $9.99. I paid $8.99 for these, and Barnes & Noble threw in free shipping. First up, we have an adaptation of The After Hours. And this one apparently came out before this one, because on the back it says coming soon, the monsters are due on Maple Street, and The Odyssey of Flight 33. Okay, This was adapted from the After Hours, Season 1, Episode 34. Original air date June 10th, 1960, written by Rod Serling. And starring in the cast Anne Francis, who also appeared in the episode Jezebel as the title character. The most challenging part of this episode was getting the makeup just right. Viewers had to perceive these actors as true mannequins to get the full creepy effect of Marcia's true identity. Okay, up next we have Death's Head Revisited. Which came courtesy of Season 3, Episode 9, original air date November 10th, 1961, written by Rod Serling. Death's Head Revisited was inspired by the trial of Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann, which began in April 1961 and ended with his conviction on December 11th, 1961, almost exactly 1 month after this episode aired. Considered by many to be the architect of the final solution, Eichmann escaped after the war and was found in Argentina by Israeli agents who abducted him and brought him to Israel, where he was tried, convicted, and executed. So, like Lutz, Eichmann was put on trial and brought to justice by Jewish victims of the Holocaust. In another parallel to the Holocaust, 2 years before he appeared in this episode as Becker, Joseph Schinderkraut played Anne Frank's father in the movie The Diary of Anne Frank. Okay. Coming soon, The Big Tall Wish and Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? The Midnight Sun. This episode is interesting because it starts off, well, for most of it anyway, you think that everybody is experiencing death by severe global warming, and then it turns out, no, they're in an ice age. Oops, I gave that away. But considering these are quite old, most people have probably seen them already. Midnight Sun, Season 3, Episode 10, original air date November 17th, 1961, written by Rod Serling, narrator Rod Serling. Mrs. Bronson, played by Betty Gard, who also appeared in the Flight of Odyssey 33 as Passenger. The Midnight Sun aired within a year of the British movie The Day the Earth Caught Fire, which had a similar theme and a much bigger budget. Serling had been battling with studio executives over the growing costs of producing the show, and he had to find creative ways on a shoestring budget to portray the end of the world. He had to cut 2 scenes from the episode, one with a refrigerator repairman and one with a police officer, which had already been cast. The scene with the police officer has been restored in Mark Neese's adaptation. In addition, the episode was shot in the summer on a set without air conditioning. The director even had the heat turned up for key scenes to get the actors in the sweaty spirit of the story. And the melting paintings effect was accomplished by painting with wax on the surface of a hot plate, which was then turned on to melt the images. Midnight Sun. Don't want to open them too much because I don't want to crack the spines. Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't promote anything I haven't already mentioned. Okay, finally, will the real Martian please stand up? they show 7 covers on the back for other adaptations in the series. This series, by the way, was approved by Carol Serling, the widow of Rod Serling. Anyway, Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? Season 2, Episode 28, original air date May 26, 1961, written by Rod Serling. I was looking one line down because Ross was played by John Hoyt, who also appeared in The Lateness of the Hour as William Loren. And Avery was played by Jack Elam, who played Haley, the bartender. Barney Phillips also appeared in Miniature as DeMille, A Thing About Machines as TV repairman, and The Purple Testament as Captain E.L. Gunter. Okay, when Serling wrote the story outline for this episode, it originally featured a dog as the Martian. By airtime, the Martian had taken human form, presenting Serling and his technical crew with a challenge: how to give the alien a third arm. The low-tech answer was to have a crew member hide under the actor's overcoat and slide out his arm from underneath, with a matching shirt and highly choreographed motions. The higher-tech special effect was the Venetian third eye, which took days to construct, troubleshoot, and match to the actor's face. Ironically, to a modern viewer, it is the extra eye that is remembered as the cheesy special effect, while the low-tech third arm continues to surprise and delight. And I don't remember that in the episode. Fight between the Martians and the Venusians. Okay, so I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these adaptations, and I will be getting the rest at some point in the future. Speaking of the future, I will be uploading behind this one a video where I do an unpacking video of Laserdiscs. I've received a number of Laserdisc packages over the past 5 or 6 weeks from Japan, and I have been holding them back for a rainy day, but here I'll go ahead and do a video on those. So until next time, stay awesome.